friends and colleagues.
Hello.
Welcome to Let's Review. This is Let's Review X with Beccah and Uttensio. How are you today, Uttensio?
I'm okay. I'm pretty good. How are you, Beccah?
Yay, I'm doing great. Are you ready to have a movie review?
I'm so ready to have a movie review.
Yeah. So this week we watched X by Ty West.
We sure did.
Yeah. I guess we could start with the overview of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
In 1979, a group of young filmmakers set out to make an adult film in rural Texas, on a rural Texas farm. But when their reclusive elderly host catches them in the act, the crew finds themselves fighting for their lives. I should read better. But yeah.
It's hard being literate.
Yeah. It's an A24 movie. We have the poster up here right now. Written and directed by Ty West, who is known for horror films. He's a horror aficionado.
This was my first Ty West film.
Your first Ty West film?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this viewing wasn't. I've seen a couple other movies by him. But I lost my train of thought.
That's okay.
This might be the first one where I knew it was Ty West going into it.
Mm-hmm.
And it stars Mia Goth, Jenna Ortega, Brittany Snow, Kid Cudi, Martin Henderson, and Owen Campbell. Mia Goth being the big titular character. I think I knew of this movie because of Ty West and Mia Goth having this plan to do. I don't know if it was a plan to do a trilogy of movies, but like their working relationship was something that was in the news surrounding this movie. Yeah.
I was surprised to learn that Mia Goth is not a sim.
No, not a sim.
Not a sim. She's a real person.
Yeah,
like I've heard her name before, but I've never, because I never watched a movie with her in it. I was like, oh yeah, Mia Goth from the Goth family. It's from Sims 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is like the first thing I remember seeing Mia Goth in. I'm trying to think. She's been in quite a bit recently.
I liked that she played two characters in this movie.
Yeah, she did. She plays Maxine and she plays Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
And she's unrecognizable as Pearl because Pearl is...
When I was watching it, and like the first time I got a good look at her, I was like, wait a minute. She looks like Maxine. And then, like, as I kept watching, I was like, that is Maxine.
Yeah, it is Mia. Pearl is one of the elderly wife of the couple that own the property that they are on. And yeah, she's in like a lot of prosthetics and makeup and stuff. And I'm guessing it's intentional because a lot of this movie revolves around kind of the overlap between sexuality and horror, as well as like the fetishism of
Mm.
horror and people in horror. And so there's this kind of I'm in love with myself kind of thing going on between Pearl and Maxine
Mm-hmm.
because they're played by the same actress. Yeah, it's very interesting. I think overall I like this movie, but I think towards I don't know what about it isn't like doesn't put it up in the upper echelon of horror movies for me, but there's a little some like I don't the maybe it's just like I don't know really I don't understand the motivations behind the older couple.
Yeah.
Max
Well, have you
or
seen Pearl?
I have now, and so
Okay.
kind of looking at this film in its own space as a standalone. Um, you don't get a whole lot of background on anything, which I
Mhm.
guess is maybe on purpose. But yeah, um,
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen Pearl yet. I know what it's about. I did watch like a YouTube video that looked at X and Pearl and the timeline of it, so I kind of have an idea.
mm-hmm.
I feel that it would probably a more cohesive thought if you watched Pearl also and then watched Maxine, because it kind of goes into how like there's a cycle of sexualization and wanting to be famous and just kind of like the evils that kind of go with that.
Yeah, it's definitely like the sexuality and the violence go hand in hand
Mm-hmm.
through this movie, and there's definitely both a longing for something better from like the eyes of the younger characters in this movie, and a wanting to go back to the past to a better time from the aspect of Pearl and Howard.
Well, I think that a lot of Pearl's motivation is that she wanted better for herself.
Yeah.
And so she sees these young people who are making a movie, which is something that she wanted to do. Like she wanted to be in a movie when she was younger, and she used to be beautiful, and all these feelings that she has, and this envy that she has for Maxine. So I think that kind of is her motivation to be a slasher, basically.
Yeah, there is some implication of this isn't the first time that the older couple has done this with killing the younger characters. There's an aspect of like potential sexual slavery that Pearl kind of has, where like she's kind of always asking Howard for it and he can't for health reasons, and then when Jenna Ortega is in the house, she kind of finds a, I guess, body that it very much seems like it's there for some sort of sex slave type thing. And they make mention of wanting Maxine. Specifically, Pearl makes mention of wanting Maxine. But they don't, it's not necessarily clear if that's what they're going for.
And there's also a mention, Bobby Lynn with Brittany Snow's character, that when she's killed, Pearl says to Howard, "Well, you know I never liked blondes," which to me is like a light bulb moment. Like, she's done this before and has targeted at least one blonde that she just did not like. Like, there's just something about maybe something in her past, which I know they touch on in Pearl, with a blonde that she didn't like.
Yeah.
And
yeah, there's a lot.
Maybe she kills her. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie, so
yeah, there's definitely a lot of shadowing and expectation of there's more to the story, especially on the Pearl and Howard side.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe that's where this lacks a little bit, where if you didn't know another movie was out there, or at the time, like, didn't know there was going to be one made,
Mm-hmm.
I think it kind of maybe detracts a little bit from the story.
I think so.
Overall. But I think, like, there's a lot going for this sort of this movie, and what Ty West is getting for, like, there's really strong allegory between the sex and the violence, and kind of pressuring people into that sort of thing, even if, like, sure, they want it, and they want it for different reasons. They make it clear that, you know, Wayne, Martin Henderson's character, is in it for the money, and Brittany Snow's character, Bobby Lynn, is kind of in it for the money. She has got a very, like,
I think she just has a high libido.
That, and, like, but she says that, like, she wants a house with a pool, and, you know, relax and everything. And Mia Goth's character, Maxine, is very much, she wants to be a star. Like, that's her. She kind of believes that she's maybe destined for something greater. She kind of repeats over and over. What is it? I deserve a better life. I deserve.
She says things like, "I deserve a better life," and "I'm a star."
And, like, along with the allegory of sex and violence, there's also this underpinning of Christianity through the whole thing via a preacher on a TV screen that you hear throughout the movie. The TV with him on it is playing in the house of Pearl and Howard, and you do find out at the end that Maxine is the daughter of the preacher on the TV, and he's very much a fire and brimstone. Satan's coming. If you don't act right, he's gonna steal our kid, to, like, infect the minds of the younger people and lead us into damnation, kind of thing. And Maxine's kind of a example of that, and kind of defying that at the same time.
It's kind of like, to me, I took that as the oppressiveness of religion. That we can't go after the things that we want and or need, you know, and maybe you need something. We can't go after that because religion's telling us not to. I think that was also a very timely message. I mean, I'm watching it now in the year 2026, and, you know, I see all the time religion being oppressive.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a more critical view of Christianity in a movie, especially one around in a horror film. Usually, especially of the slasher movies of the 70s and 80s, and this takes place in the 70s. So it's kind of pulling from that, and a lot of those movies had Christianity as well. When you stray from Christianity, you're going to have to face consequences, and a lot of those slasher movies, sexuality leads to a lot of these consequences of violence. I know, like the Friday the 13th movies, and I was about to say the Jason Voorhees, but that's the same series.
More movies I have not seen.
Yeah, the Nightmare on Elm Street a little bit has some of that stuff. And the Mike Myers movies have a bit of that too. It's kind of just a recurring theme through.
And yeah, it's like a
movies.
trope of slashers is that if you have sex, you're going to die.
Yeah, and
usually
they tend to be the targets, the specific targets of the slashers are these promiscuous young people. How did you feel about the performances throughout the movie?
I loved it. I mean, I was texting you a little bit while I was watching it. I mean, I loved the gore. I think the exact text I sent you was, "This movie rules." I just saw a guy get stabbed in the neck until he didn't have a neck anymore.
Yeah.
I loved that.
I felt that it was pretty realistic on the gore sense too. Like, sure, it was overemphasized, but not to a crazy level.
Yeah.
Like, you even see at the very beginning when they're traveling to this farm, like a cow got hit by a semi truck and is like essentially in half, and like, so there's a realisticness to the gore that I think a lot of slasher movies didn't necessarily adhere to. But then yes, there's an excessiveness that is also paying homage there. I really liked Mia Goth in this.
I did,
kind of see why like she wants to be, like, she believes she's going to be a star kind of thing. Especially compared to Brittany Snow's character. I think everybody was really believable, and
I'm just kind of looking at seeing if they won any awards. And it looks like they won Best Horror Film at Sunset Circle Awards. This is all in 22. And they won Best Cinematography at the Boston Society of Film Critics. And Jenna Ortega won Best Breakthrough Artist at the Austin Film Critics Association. There was a few nominees. Like, so Mia Goth was nominated for Best Actress with the Hollywood Critics Association Mid-Season Film Awards. And she was also nominated for the MTV Movie and TV Awards for Most Frightened Performance.
Yeah. So yeah,
I'm surprised that Mia Goth didn't win. I don't know. I really liked her as Maxine. I think that she was like perfect for this. I think that Jenna Ortega was wonderful.
Yeah, Jenna Ortega was very good, very believable as like the quiet girl that, like, her uncomfortable with the situation starting out, and kind of becomes more comfortable to the point where she asks to be in the film. And even like when stuff starts to go sideways, I thought she was very believable in a lot of her stuff, her lines, and actions.
This wasn't a movie that I really focused on, like, the acting.
Yeah,
I think I was very focused on the storyline.
Yeah, the overall story kind of pulls it, and there are some beautiful, like,
it was
cinematic
beautiful.
shots.
It
as long
it
as like
was.
how Ty West is able to build tension really
Mhm.
well. I'm thinking about that. The Mia Goth skinny dips in the
Mhm.
lake, and you see a gator notice her, and there's some great wide shots with
Mhm.
just like her, the gator, and the lake, and like not even like I can't even remember if there was like music cues for it to be tense. It was just like how it was filmed in like this nonchalant way that made it very tense.
Mhm.
Um, and then at one point, there is Howard kind of recruits a couple of the characters to look for Pearl,
Mhm.
and a lot of that I thought was very well done. You know, you got um, Kid Cudi and Howard searching the lake, and um, Jenna Ortega in the house. Um, yeah, some of the one shot that like you kind of know going in, like that cinematography is gonna tell a lot of the story. Just like from the very beginning, um, you know, it being set in the '70s, this film starts out in um a, a squared shot, like a
Mhm.
9:9 ratio or 1:1 ratio or whatever it is. It's like a very square shot, like you would see on a like Super 8 film or something like that. And then it pushes through. You're seeing it like in a doorway, and it's the sides of the doorway that are blacking out the rest of the screen. So the camera pushes through that into your normal 16:9 ratio, and you kind of get to see like, okay, you're starting in this time and kind of moving into a more modern um, picture. And then you also see a lot of the shots that the character RJ is using for
Mhm.
the movie in that kind of cinematic kind of way.
I
And I think
like it
oh,
when movies, like, or when horror specifically is still able to be creepy
mhm.
during daytime shots.
Oh yeah, very. It was very
I
Texas
think.
Chainsaw Massacre in a
I
lot
mean,
of
I haven't
ways.
seen it, but sure.
But a lot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre occurs during the day
Yeah.
and stuff, so there's a lot of light instead of the trope of everything being at night. And while a lot of this does take place at night, um,
There's some daytime shots where I still
yeah,
felt
there's
unsettled.
some very unsettling daytime shots. I mean,
Mhm.
the whole shot with the alligator is in daytime.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and I was gonna say the Owen Campbell's character RJ, the director of this porn shoot that they're doing, is very much a caricature of like a film student kind of thing,
Mhm.
where like he wants to make this porn uh, movie something that's very like avant-garde and French, and do something that's like, it's kind of like the stereotypical thing, like, oh, every film student kind of says these things, and you kind of learn early when they're at the gas station that he doesn't really have a vision for the overall film that he's making. Like Brittany Snow's character like gives him some, says, oh, this angle will be much better, and you realize that it is because like she knows like what it, like it's supposed to be a sex film.
Mhm.
so, so like yeah, it's that just juxtaposition of like this kid kind of being out of his own in multiple ways really goes towards that. It's like a very much like maybe some themes of like tainted innocence
Mhm.
kind of being in there.
I feel like he was kind of learning on the job that he's not. I mean, if he didn't have the fate that he eventually has, would not have been making the art that he wanted to make because he has to pay his bills and he wasn't going to always get the movies that he wanted and do what he wants because he has to pay his bills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You want to talk about some tropes?
Sure.
There's some pretty good tropes in this movie. One being the now I gotta figure out what one it is. There's multiple Chekhov's guns, including a literal gun.
Oh yeah, when Wayne said that there's no bullets in that gun.
Yeah.
And then I saw Maxine grab that gun. I was like, ooh, girl.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So not only is the gun itself a Chekhov's gun, but the fact that Wayne says, oh, I don't keep it loaded.
Mm-hmm.
And the reverse happens with Howard, where he has got the shotgun. And he bluffs and says he doesn't keep it loaded. But he kills people with it, so he obviously keeps it loaded. There's the opening where you get to see the aftermath of everything before the actual as the first scene of the movie. It's a sheriff and a deputy kind of walking through the scene, and you don't really see faces or anything of the deceased, but you do see bodies. You see a lot of blood, and then it kind of flashes back to 24 hours before, kind of thing. And I think there was a lot of good use of like foreshadowing and stuff in this movie. You know, the scene where they're walking out of the burlesque strip
with the alligator.
Yeah, like, you see the alligator chasing after the blonde woman. And the alligator itself kind of being a Chekhov's gun, where you get to see it multiple times in the beginning of the film, and then it comes back and gets to have a meal on Brittany Snell's character. I really enjoyed the side of the van. It said it was
plowing
services. Yeah, and they were gonna make a sex.
That was so funny.
Yeah. Oh man. They used the song "Don't Fear the Reaper" as the beginning to when all the killing starts. Specifically, the first one to die is RJ character, and he turns on the van to leave, and is stopped by Pearl, and "Don't Feel the Reaper" comes on, and then he sees what will be his Reaper in Pearl. I feel like what is really strong about this is like those filmmaking choices. Kind of, it's so contained and so tight that like literally almost everything that's shown in the movie comes up again somewhere else in some way. Even the preacher on the television, it says, like, the first or second time he's talking on the TV, he talks about how he lost his daughter to this stuff, and kind of goes in, and then there is a divine divine intervention, what's the sentence that he says?
I don't remember.
I should have read.
I didn't know I was supposed to take notes.
I took some notes. Yeah. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, I guess it is divine intervention. Because he says it, the preacher says it, and then when Maxine goes to shoot, or Pearl goes to shoot Maxine, the kickback of the shotgun makes her miss, and inevitably shoots her out the door, and she breaks her hip, and then Maxine repeats it, kind of like, oh yeah, that was divine intervention. And then it's revealed that Maxine is the preacher's daughter. Yeah, it was overall it was very fun to watch. There were some laugh out loud moments a couple times. I had a couple jump scares.
I did squirm when Wayne stepped on a nail.
I was just about to say,
I could not look. I covered my eyes.
That was the gross out moment for me when Wayne, because it like very much shows a nail penetrating a foot kind of thing. I
put a blanket over my head. I could not watch it. I mean, I glued to the screen watching RJ get his neck taken out and Wayne's eyeballs coming out. Absolutely glued to the screen, but someone steps on a nail, I am not doing that.
Yeah. I thought it was really funny that when Jenna Ortega says she wants to be in the movie, RJ kind of needs to be talked into it by Wayne. And one of the things Wayne says, or RJ's like, he's like, what about STDs? And Wayne's like, oh, don't worry about that. And then when Wayne steps on the nail, he's like, oh, I don't want to get tetanus.
I didn't even think about that because my immediate thought was, oh, I'm glad I got a tetanus shot last year. Yeah. I loved it. I'm looking at IMDb right now. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Wayne's death was another kind of gross out moment, which happens kind of slightly after that. You don't see it as viscerally as you see the nail going through the foot, but he gets his eyes stabbed with a pitchfork, and I thought
it was definitely also the suspense of that moment that got me.
And I thought it was really funny that he kept saying how much people's eyes were gonna pop out of their head when they saw this film, and then his eyes end up popping out of his head via pitchfork. Yeah, it was pretty fun. I took some favorite clips of the movie. Do you want to hear some clips?
Sure.
This is the preacher guy, and kind of sets up some of the movie. Or it sets up the kind of the kickoff to all the killing.
He may be a forgiving God, but every man has got his limits.
The whole like RJ kind of through this movie gets pushed to his limit, and the limit is him filming his girlfriend have sex with another person. Getting cucked. And then him leaving and getting through stuff. I captured this. Just some cows mooing. Pretty good.
Love that for you.
One of the things that made me laugh out loud during it was it's Jenna Ortega saying she wants to be in the movie, and it's kind of quiet, and then you just hear RJ say, what? So I captured his what?
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 He's just such a funny character.
Yeah. Oh, we have a Mothman connection. Did you get the Mothman connection?
I didn't.
No? Okay.
No.
I'm gonna play the clip.
My van broke down on the highway back yonder, and I was hoping I could use y'all's phone to call for help.
Oh my goodness. I'm afraid we don't own a telephone.
In the very beginning of Mothman Prophecies, John Keel, his car breaks down, and he goes to knock on the first person's door, and the excuse that they give him the excuse that they don't have a telephone is why he can't call a tow truck. And I just thought that was really funny.
I thought maybe that was I kind of thought, 1979, everyone would have a phone. But then I was like, well, if they're on a farm, maybe they don't have a phone? I mean, I don't know. I wasn't alive in 1979.
Yeah, it still might be one of those things where not everybody, especially in like the rural areas,
Yeah.
might not have access to a phone. And granted, okay, the Mothman takes place in the 60s.
67.
And it's more of an excuse because they think John's creepy in the beginning of Mothman.
Oh, yeah. He's an incredibly tall man with a top hat.
Yeah, and if this is more of a, I don't want to get rid of you kind of thing. There's more going on. What else do I got here? Well, I got a good neck squelch from RJ.
Yes. Yes, I love it. Give me those neck squelches.
I was kind of paying attention to all the noises because at the very beginning they kind of run over some cow that is already in the road, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty good squelch, but it didn't translate very well. But this one did. And I think I got one more.
You never can be too careful with strangers.
Oh, that's at the very beginning.
That's Howard, yeah.
Yeah, the foreshadowing the gun. Never be too careful with strangers. And then, kind of precisely because they're too careful or not careful enough around Howard and Pearl, they all, well, everyone but Maxine dies. Which I guess is also a trope of
the final girl.
Well, if you know that the movie Maxine exists and that it's the same character, then you kind of know going in that Maxine's gonna live because she's in a sequel. Yeah.
I'm looking at some reviews right now, and they're kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I think
at IMDb.
I think it a lot of the movie rides on how well Ty West is putting it together. And like not thinking too much about overall plot stuff, overall motivations of characters and stuff like that. The characters themselves are interesting, but you never really get to know anyone enough to really care for them. Like, you kind of like, okay, Jackson's character, whose full name in the movie is Jackson Hole, which I think is a porn name. I don't know if like that's a.
Oh my god! I just got it.
Yeah. I don't know if that's supposed to be his real name in the movie or if that is a porn name in the movie. But like you get enough to think, okay, he might be a cool guy. Like he seems to be, somewhat caring and respectful of everyone going on. But like when it really comes down to his death scene, you don't really care about him too much. And same with same with RJ. Like, you don't really know
Mhm.
enough about him to give a shit that he's
I was kind of
gonna
like,
die. Yeah.
he's
Like,
a good one to be the first to die. Sure.
mm-hmm.
I don't like
That's
him,
it.
so it works out.
Yeah, Wayne's kind of abrasive and like, and he has problems. He talks
Mhm.
about like he owes money all over town, and like he's making this to make money, and he's kind of taking advantage of everyone else. It seems like.
Yeah, he's a sleazeball.
Yeah, and like even at one point, Howard's like, I don't like you.
I don't like you.
And so like it's kind of more fun to watch him die.
Mhm.
And like Jenna Ortega's character, Lorraine, is it Lorraine?
Mhm. Yeah, Lorraine.
She's just like quiet, and you think she's gonna be nice, and then she ends up doing the movie, and
Mhm.
you never know if she really regrets it or not, because the relationship between her and RJ doesn't go anywhere because RJ dies.
Right.
So, in that sense, it's kind of more just the fun of watching people die on screen in different ways. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that when you look at just X,
Mm-hmm.
it's a okay movie. It's fun. You're like, okay, it's sexy, it's gory, it's a fun watch.
Yeah.
But then when you put it into the broader scope of the whole trilogy,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where it'll probably. I mean, when I eventually watch Pearl and Maxine,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I'll be like, oh, I really get this.
Yeah. I know I've seen Pearl,
Mm-hmm.
but I couldn't tell you anything that happens in it.
She kills people.
It obviously didn't stick with me, and like even
Yeah.
watching this, it didn't like, other than kind of the shadowing that Howard and Pearl do, that this has happened before kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really remember anything about Pearl. I haven't seen Maxine yet, so I don't know about that, but how well that wraps up the story, or if it even does wrap up the story.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it would make probably a good trilogy to watch. You watch Pearl, then you watch X, and then you watch Maxine.
Yeah, I chose to watch it in this order. I have a friend who's a fan of the series, and
Mhm.
she recommended to watch it in this order. I'm not sure if it was right.
Yeah. I guess you have to take the Ty West's kind of opinion into it. This is the one he chose to make first,
That's true.
so there was something to it. It allowed him to make the other two, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Going by IMDb ratings, which you gotta take with a grain of salt, but I think this has a 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
Pearl has a 7, and Maxine has a 6.2. So it seems like people enjoyed Pearl a little bit better. And, a 6.5 on IMDb is good. Like, I don't scoff at anything rated around a 6.5 on IMDb. Like, that's in it. I think anything above a 6 and above is worth, looking into.
Yeah.
At least if you think it's going to be good, it's probably going to be entertaining.
Because there's always going to be someone who puts a 1.
Yeah.
I think
when
and there's always going to get someone who puts a 10.
And I think once you get under 5 on IMDb, you start really getting into some crappy stuff. So,
Yeah.
But the number, the star system on IMDb, so yeah, you kind of take it with a grain of salt. But it makes me want to rewatch Pearl especially knowing it's got a little bit better received.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we put it on a list for later.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth doing it next month, but maybe later down the road.
I do want to mention that this movie is on Tubi.
Tubi. I watched it on Canopy, which is through public libraries. It's also pretty cheap to rent on IMDb, or not on Amazon.
Yeah.
I saw it like $2, $3. So, I think going forward, we might try to stick to stuff that's currently streaming, but I don't know if that's going to be a hard and fast rule. It'll be whatever we want to watch.
Yeah, whatever we're feeling.
Do you have any final thoughts on the movie?
I want to give it a rating.
You want to give it a rating? Okay.
Okay, so my scale, Midsummer is my 10.
Okay.
Okay, you know how much I love Midsummer.
I know how much you love that movie, yeah.
Yeah. I would give X a 7.2.
7.2. So Midsummer. I don't know if I'd rate it that high for me. 6.5 seems right for me. Maybe I'm influenced by other stuff, but it's if you have the opportunity to see it, I would say go for it. Like especially if you like the horror genre and you like slashers. I think it's a very good modern slasher. And I think horror movies do have the issue a lot of times of when they want to focus on the killing of people. Some of the other stuff tends to lack. Not always. Like you said, like Midsummer is more horror, and that's up there with some great movies. Yeah, I don't have anything against this movie. I thought it was very enjoyable. I think. Yeah.
It's a solid movie.
Don't have a movie picked out for next month yet. But
well, I picked this one.
Yeah.
So it's up to you.
So we'll I gotta think it over, but we'll definitely announce it before the end of the month in one of the next 2 podcasts. So.
Is there a genre you're thinking?
No, I have no idea. I don't even. The only thing I've thought of is what would be a good thing for Uttensio to see since she hasn't seen a lot of movies. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do something more classic that so you can build up some movie watching lore.
Yeah, I can't keep just relating things to Ari Aster films.
Yeah.
I can't spend my whole life just chasing Ari Aster.
If anyone wants to recommend either movies we watch or books we should read, you can reach me at Beccah Smiles on most of the social medias. You can leave a comment on the YouTube page, which is at Beccah Albright right now, until I get this one up and going. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitch at Uttensio, Uttensio, or on Instagram at Uttensio, Uttensio.
Oh, 3 O's.
3 O's. Some schmuck got Uttensio before I did, and then has never posted a single thing.
That's how it always goes.
And I was like, and that's why this stranger is a schmuck.
I'm a little luckier because I spell my name with an H, and so I feel like it's a little bit more rare. Yeah, and that'll be it for us for today. See y'all again next week, where we will talk about video games.
Potentially, I will be returning from vacation.
Yeah, it'll probably be later in the week than Tuesday. But well, I'm hoping to get the episode done before Saturday. So
Okay. And then just a reminder, we are reading the Mothman Prophecies by
correct.
John Keel. And at the end of the month, we will be discussing that.
Yes. We look forward to all of that. So we'll talk to y'all then.
Good evening. Goodbye.
Bye now.